Baseball is different from every other major sport. Baseball is played every single day and a lot of stuff happens in every single game. You see teams that are over 500 by a big margin just suddenly collapse, losing their identity of what made them so dominant. And this has been the 2023 Arizona Diamondbacks, going from not knowing how to lose to not knowing how to win. At the beginning of the season, there were for sure a big crowd that expected this Diamondbacks team to make a splash, and maybe not even a big one, but at the very least, it was going to be a splash. Especially after the hype and momentum that they had going into this season, after the flashes that they showed last year. Yeah, we had hopes for the 2023 team, and it was almost exactly how we thought it would go for the Diamondbacks in 2023. Except they were maybe even better than what the expectations were that were set for them. A team that is full of young guys with all the potential in the world, won a lot of baseball games. And this was of course thanks to superstar Corbin Carroll, who of course is in his rookie year and has been unreal with a .276 batting average, 21 home runs, and an .876 OPS. This kid is crazy, and he's brought the energy that not only the fans of the Diamondbacks are looking for, but also what the lineup needed, the spark that this lineup needed to take the step into the next level. They've also had a few other younger players, like Jake McCarthy, who have played key roles in this team. The pitching is really the one thing that gets me with this team though, because they lack talent in the rotation. But of course, they do have a few very, very good arms, the two main guys being Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, who have both of course been very good in 2023 and is a giant reason why they've won. But outside of those two, it's actually been pretty rough from the starting rotation, right? Things really started to turn around for the Diamondbacks, and it was not in a good way. The starting rotation was a big part in this. At the trade deadline, no one really knew what the Diamondbacks were going to be doing. It was said they were in search for starting pitching, but were not sure how the front office was going to be, whether they were willing to go all in on this 2023 team, because they had been falling off the standings all throughout July with really no improvements, no sign of life. Regardless though, Arizona made a few key moves, featuring the bullpen getting a big boost, infield depth, and of course another move that I believe will make the biggest impact, which is veteran Tommy Pham, who provides veteran leadership in a time where they desperately need it and also can help the team win on the baseball field. Plus, as I mentioned, they made a few bullpen upgrades, and this features Paul Sewald from the Mariners. That is a big one. I can tell you that right now. Another arm that'll not only be good, but again, provide the leadership that they need in that clubhouse, and especially in, of course, that pitching room right now. This team was once 16 games over 500 to what is now an even 500 record. Yes, you heard that right. They were 16 games over and now have an even split 500 record. This was only between a total of 38 days they managed to have this collapse happen. I mean, talk about a collapse. And a big reason for why they've collapsed, of course, is their manager, Torey Lovullo, who has been absolutely awful. Of course, he's the manager of the team, and it's showing how he's affected this team, right? He's had a very big reason in why this team has struggled so bad in this losing span, and it really makes you wonder if he's the guy in the long run for this team. It's nearly every night now. He just positions the guy in the wrong batting order, and it ultimately has failed this Diamondbacks lineup, especially recently. Another thing they could say that has killed them is, of course, Corbin Carroll's clutchness. It hasn't been there at all, as you guys saw last night. But again, you can't blame Corbin at all for them not succeeding, when he's responsible for that insane part of the season that Arizona was so dominant in. Even though we've known this team is probably about a year or so away from true success to being able to really dominate the NL, it's still disappointing to see a fall off from such a fun team, from a team that everyone is rooting for and many have called America's team. Of course, that is in the 2023 season, but anyone who says that it isn't disappointing to see what we've seen from the Diamondbacks recently just because they weren't expected to be good that way anyway, that's just delusional talk, right? After being 16 games over, yeah, you set yourself expectations. Again, though, 2024, this team will be back and ready than ever, really. This team made a lot of moves at the deadline that I think could make an impact. So I think in 2024, it'll be no different in free agency, and of course, that trade deadline as well. This is, though, one of the biggest fall-offs that we've seen in a very, very long time. The Diamondbacks choked, and they did it very, very bad. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Drop a like if you haven't already, and peace out.